Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the back half of the 2021 Minnesota Amateur Championships, round number 2, taking place at CP Adams Disc Golf Course in Hastings. We've got Andy Wacha, along with Joseph Calabrese, third person being Trenton McCloud, and rounding out the card, we're going to have Cyrus Watrin, and I am again joined by the lovable Tyler Brickley.
Me? Lovable?
Wow. Yeah. I'll give you that. I mean, you're at a distance. We are doing this as remote commentary, so I think I can fit that one in. And right now we're watching Joseph, who had a solid opening. First 3 holes he birdied, then he had a little hiccup, but looks like he's back on the birdie train doing some work here. Here's Cyrus.
Yeah, another really well-shaped hole. We saw a few of these on the front 9, but yeah, just starts out, kind of meanders to the left, and then the green turns back to the right. Looks like there's a sneaky backhand gap, but also maybe a little bit of drop off to the right. So you want to finish safely on the left side of the basket, I would guess here.
See Cyrus trying to go with the straight shot as opposed to Andy playing up the left side and just going to let it filter toward the pin, and it hits the bottom of the basket.
What? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, absolutely incredible sidearm out of Andy.
I mean, you alluded to it in the opening 9 holes, but do you have a strong preference for calling it a side arm versus a forehand?
You know, I'm just a bandwagon guy, and there's a debate that's been floating around the last 6 months. Everybody thinks that forehand is like somehow trashy. No, sorry, the other way. Sidearm. See, you can tell. I don't know. Sidearm is the trashy one. It's going to be backhand and forehand. You know, keep it parallel. I could get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, just like, you know, Heiser and Anheuser. I mean, it's just so obvious of these words we made up in our sport.
It's not like Heiser and Side-Heiser, you know?
Yeah.
Backhand, forehand. I'm just trying to practice getting forehand to be the more natural term.
We saw Trenton tap in for his par, as will Cyrus. And not quite the metal hit that we saw by Andy, but going to be the same result. Nice birdie there for Joseph, as he's going to push to 14 under par.
Carrying that momentum from the front 9 right into the back, still with the 2-stroke lead over Andy.
Big shout out, Prodigy Disc, the presenting sponsor of the 2021 Minnesota Amateur Championships. Here we are on hole 11, completely blind. It just plays straight downhill. Wow. And unfortunately, there's not much you can do without a catch cam. Even if you were down there, I think it's going to be tough to see it coming in. But
he could have climbed a tree or something. I mean, come on, Dustin. Next time, stand up on that T sign right there.
We'll get him a slack line across the upper side. We'll make that a Mando that he then has to actually, you know, shoot video from.
He hasn't been videoing as long as we have. Amateur move, just stand right behind the tee box and film the shots. Is this like a jump putt? What is he? Is it that downhill that he's?
It is a very sharp downhill, and that's exactly you called it. No way.
Ace. Sorry, I just thought. We don't know. It could have been.
And he's predicting that it's going to be a little bit short. Here's Trenton. I mean, there is something there's a coolness factor to say you jump putted from a hole, you know, just like hole 4 at, you know, Maple Hill at the MVP Open, right? Like there's something to be said about, hey, I just jump putted from the tee.
Trenton really needs to get something going here. He's got the entire next round, of course, but I know he wants to stop the bleeding, get some solid birdies down the home stretch here. Oh, Cyrus.
That was going in.
He said it was going in.
To the tree.
He didn't specify what.
Oh, no. Then that is the easiest thing to do when you have a putt like that off the tree, and then you've got a 20-ish foot have to make. You start to tell yourself, I have to make this. I can't miss this, miss this, miss this. And then there you go.
Joseph pushing to 15 under, making easy work of hole 11. And as we said in the opening 9 holes, this is the second of 3 rounds. The first round was not recorded, so in case you're freaking out and trying to find it, it wasn't recorded. We just got the second and third rounds, and they move over to Kaposia for 27 holes during the third and final round, which will be played on Sunday.
That's it actually was recorded. Terry and I just did commentary on it, and I did so bad that Terry actually just deleted all the footage immediately, said we're never releasing this to the world.
Like, we're not going to just do it without commentary. We're just deleting the whole thing.
You're not even going to get the footage.
And you see the steep uphill shot here. Again, just 165 feet. So it's clearly more about precision than it is the power.
Yeah, I would love to play this course. I don't think my legs would love to play this course because it looks like it's, got some up and down to it. But man, these shots look so fun.
And if I know I talked about my memory being truly hazy from the 2001 Worlds where I played here, but if I really think back, I want to say these 2 holes that we're seeing were more like holes 5 and 6 at the time, which maybe drives home the point that there was a redesign to this course since 2001. Either that or I'm just trying to make stuff up to justify my lack of memory.
Trenton and Cyrus are redesigning the fairway, taking a local route. Look at the angle they have to take on the tee box to get this line to work.
Now, fair to say you'd be equally as impressed if he got as close with a jump putt here, right?
Yeah, straight up the hill, 40 feet into the ground. He's like, oh yeah, I can't do that every time. Oh, there. Yeah, it's way up there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's up in, I think, a little bit more left of that position. He doesn't love it. And now you clearly have to worry about things like rollaways as that connects with the tree, but then sits down.
165 feet, but probably 300 feet of power still if you want to get all the way up to the basket here. This would be a good moment for Andy. Oh, what a hit. Run it down.
And what's your favorite Circle 2 celebration? Do you have a name for one?
In terms of like the bazooka or the raptor legs?
Yeah, or any that I'm sure you've developed throughout the years when you commonly bang from Circle 2.
I can't wait to find out. I have never made a Circle 2 putt. So like when that happens, I'm really excited to see like what I'll probably do some sort of interpretive symbolic thing, but I'll text you.
All right. Well, Cyrus from Circle 2 converts. It's going to take him a minute to get there. It's from back deep where he was. Solid putt. And this is Joseph.
Tester.
Oh, no.
Oh, strong side and through.
Yeah, just a little bit of that hot sauce that we saw from him in previous putts. And that's going to be a 2-stroke swing between him and Andy, who had picked up the birdie. Yeah.
Wow. That strong putt of his probably benefits him. No, not probably. That gets him more strokes than it costs him. I'll tell you that right now. He's just firing them in there. Not recklessly. He's got just such a super solid putt. But yeah, every once in a while, it's going to cost you.
Big shout out to my friends who have also picked up cameras and started editing as well over at Pastry Dyes. So make sure you check them out online for some sweet dyed discs. 340 feet, hole 13. I'm not sure what the preferred route is. We just saw the forehand. Here's the backhand, but, well, that's not the preferred route.
No. This course, too, another beautiful thing that I'm noticing about it is it seems to go between woods and park golf, just kind of almost hole to hole. A little too much mustard on that one from Trenton.
Joseph with the hiccup on the previous hole, and just like that, all knotted up with Andy for a share of the lead. That's a little tight.
Ooh.
Not too punishing though.
Nope, that should par. Maybe a throw in, but he'll probably be laying that one up for par. I honestly I didn't see where Andy's went. Did his flick end up
A little bit short and on the left side.
okay?
Hole 13 statistically averaged at 2.97, so just barely under par.
Yep, Joseph just taking a par. Open door for Andy here. Big moment. And that was quite a bit farther than I thought he was out.
Here's your front nine favorite in Trenton, trying to get something going here to close out his round.
Yeah, he's the one we're looking at. I mean, Joseph's a little bit worried about the momentum Andy's picking up here, but he's mostly worried. Oh, what a save.
From way downtown, he says, wow.
I love that.
Take his hat off and collect his thoughts.
Dab the sweat. Oh, that's amazing. Nice putt, Cyrus.
Andy will walk away with the par. Trenton's trying to do the same. And so a lot of work to be done here on hole 13, but they're going to walk away with a par frame.
Yeah, a lot of wasted effort, really. You know, they could have just a couple putter shots and a tap in. Like, they didn't need to go through all the drama.
No. Let's see if we can get some boom sauce here. Love me some double G jerky.
Get out of those branches. Got a Mando right there, I guess.
Yeah, and it seems like that Mando really
doesn't need to be there.
Well, I just think that maybe there's some other line that we're not quite seeing, but
right.
I don't see it being the preferred route anyway if your name's not Lazat or Wiggins.
Yeah, who's trying to punch a sidearm through there? Forehand.
Finger pop.
I'm just going to say flick.
Flick, that works as well. Yeah.
Flick it. I'm saying sidearm. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll finger pop it out.
Oh, the big run up. He wants some distance here. Keeps it, his distance shots though. That's why I say again, like a Sexton or Yuli, he's putting a ton of effort into them, but they're a really safe height and angle. So they're not going to get they're not going to get away from him too bad.
Nothing too squirrely here.
Yeah. Really smart 14-year-old there.
Trenton from the right side. Very accessible pin here. Not a lot to deal with on this par 4, 615 feet. I mean, just really dissecting this hole. A good, safe, powerful opening shot, a relatively easy approach. That brings me back all the way to hole 3. Also about 600 feet. Throws one out into the middle. Gets pretty solid distance. And then has a routine approach shot and hopefully looking at a tap-in birdie.
Let's see if Cyrus can stick this one close here.
A little bit short, but it'll work. And with that, I'll challenge you.
Mm-hmm.
We always need that engagement. We love people to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. But we usually pose some kind of a question, and then from those answers, I like to give something away. I'll randomly grab a commenter, reach out to them, and then send them a disc. Mm-hmm. Anything that we should be lobbing up here as a posed question?
Nice putt. Trenton, let's go. I want to say something like, what was the winning score the year that you won the World Speed Putting Championship? Would that be too easy to Google, or would that take some digging?
um, yeah, I don't know about the archives on that. Yeah, that would probably be tough. Usually, I'm a little more topical with what's happening. Either at the
Like
course
with
or
these people. Oh, okay.
well, or
Yeah.
you know, maybe there might be a Minnesota vibe to it. You know, I can think of 2 Minnesota amateur champions that have come out of there in the last 20 years.
Okay,
You can
here we
ask
go.
what their names are. That's a little bit tough.
Yeah. No. I got you. I'm with you. Okay. How many times, this is for the comments, how many times have non-Minnesota people in the last year heard Minnesota people brag about all the freaking disc golf courses they have and how amazing it is? Okay, put your number in the comments, and Terry's going to pick one of them to win.
That's a good call. We can do just that. I like it. Cyrus. Oh, in the open. I mean, if you're finding anything but open on this hole, I think you're doing it wrong. That's in the open.
It'd take you'd have to throw farther to get into trouble than to put it in the fairway on this hole.
And look at the flip up, 525 feet, and that's turning over. It just needs to push back.
Is that going to get the rough, or is that okay? That was mashed.
Big pull. Here's Andy.
Oh, no.
And you can see just how excited these guys are to get out and rip a shot, right, in the wide open space.
That is probably the 4th or 5th worst feeling in disc golf, when you're coming up to that big wide open hole and you're like, I am just going to annihilate this one. And then it goes bad. There's just no more like a, man, I want to do that over again feeling.
And a good approach there by Trenton, leaving him just left of the pin. You know, this is a relatively soft par 4 at 525 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easy eagle.
Yeah, definitely.
For us, these people, they're younger, but yeah. Okay. Wow, man, he's got a jump putt. You got to be thinking that was probably 450.
Yeah, probably. And I'm going to really challenge my own memory here. I want to say this maybe used to be hole 18 way back in the day. Somebody should confirm that in the comments. And this is great because I keep prodding you guys to just tell me how wrong I am. So you guys should love this. But I believe this maybe used to be hole 18 way back in the day.
Would be a great finishing hole, honestly. That looks like the parking lot right there. It'd be a fun one to get all your frustrations from the previous 17 holes out in one shot and make everything worse.
Well, either way, Joseph is your outright leader. He is one ahead of Andy and trying to pull away from the rest of the card. We're going to see how that shakes out over the next few holes. Big shout out. If you're going to play Minnesota disc golf, you got to go about 4 hours east and stop in at Sandy Point Resort, the first disc golf resort ever put together in the world. Way back in the 90s, and Mike and Michelle Cousins have an amazing piece of property along with an incredible pro shop. So make sure you check it out.
And Cyrus, again, with a relatively open drive that he just gets a little nose down, or I don't know if his backswing's too high or what's going on, but that's been his main error on this entire round. And it's probably better than being nose up and skying shots, but yeah, he's definitely feeling the frustration from that. Okay.
That
Joseph's
works.
Doing his best Paul Macbeth impersonation there. Just a laser beam that still finishes straight somehow, 400 feet away. Let's see. Andy, this is more this is the Simon line. Gonna end up in the same spot.
Still got me.
And you hear them talking about the skill sets from these young superstars. Now, of course, that's a Mando that's in play, but it really doesn't come into play for Trenton. I don't think he'd be going that route anyway. Or maybe he would have otherwise. Hole 16 playing 3.72, so quite a few birdies to be had out here. Quarter stroke under par.
Not really any trouble. I would say the main difficulty being that it looks pretty uphill. So you're throwing two pretty full, you got a pretty full approach shot here.
We'll see what he's left with as it feels like a number of times throughout this round, Andy and Joseph have been within a few feet of one another, and
yeah,
same here.
If I was on a card with Joseph, I would also hope my drives were near his.
And that a little bit short, but should work just fine.
I was going to say Trenton had a nice, did pick up the birdie on the last hole. Would have been nice to get a little bit of momentum going these last few holes.
And
nice.
Joseph, yeah, no problem whatsoever, picking up yet another birdie. And to put that all in perspective, as we see him move to 17 under par, we see Cyrus pick up the birdie as well and moves to 13. Cyrus started the day at 7 under, so that means he's 6 under for the round. I'll do that math for you guys. Andy's trying to pick up a birdie. Andy was your outright leader coming into today, into the second round. He started at 9 under. Now he's at 16. And then Joseph has more than doubled his score. He started at 8 under and now sits at 17. So he's 9 under on the round. Meanwhile, Andy is at 7 under on the round. So these two seem like they're trying to pull ahead of the rest of the card.
And obviously not knowing the course, those seem to be great round scores. Seems like these guys are really, really tearing it up.
Yeah, and if you think back, there's only been really 1 or 2 mistakes that we've seen from Joseph, and he's still having the hot round. So certainly doing some work out there.
300-foot little sliding right to left hillside here. Yeah, I was going to say the sidearm seems like if you have it, hard to get that backhand to like stop on the slope.
Oh, and a huge honk of the horn after he released.
Ooh.
So you see, you see the little glare. Yep.
Yeah. Listen, you want to make, if you got a 14-year-old kid who's leading a tournament, you don't want to honk at him.
No. And a little bit short, but online for Andy.
See if Trenton can do it. That looks like such a technical shot. It looks like he's pulled it off. We'll see if he slid up there into the circle or if it stopped short.
Cyrus has had a couple of long ones and almost cashed that one in.
You could tell he wanted that. He was looking for another run down and tip his hat to it.
And your favorite Minnesota three-point shooter would be?
Bob Watson.
Okay.
You know Bob Watson?
Yeah, one of the
70s Celtics.
Oh, okay. So not
before he went to Minnesota for the Timberwolves.
Okay, for the run at the championship.
I don't watch a ton of hockey, but I mean, just for a little bit in the 70s, I did.
And look at that.
There it is. Let's go, Trenton.
Showing us how it's done. Right up the middle. Joseph's going to settle for the par, as will Cyrus. And we're moving into what will be the 36th hole of the tournament. And they'll have all of the 27 at Kaposia to play, plus this final hole. If you need any boxes, want to ship your stuff safely, reach out to me. My Disc in a Box is your shipping solution.
Nice. Nice flick. Well done, Andy. This looks like a carbon copy of his Trenton's last shot. Straight putter, maybe.
Yeah, just setting up for position. 275 downhill. It's really throws everybody off because you're seeing that basket off in the distance that feels as if they're laying up to that spot. But this is actually just 275 slightly downhill.
Cyrus is going to jump putt it again.
Oh, yeah. And he is
nice one.
Pretty much parked.
So little pressure here on Joseph. Andy's could have the outright lead on the final round with that park job. So he has to birdie this one to be tied.
Actually, the Heiser shot looks like it's going to pan out just fine. Here he is for the birdie.
Nice. Oh. Well done.
And speaking of well done, we're almost well done. I want to thank you for joining us, Tyler. I know you don't do a lot of post-production shot-by-shot coverage and commentary, but thank you so much for joining.
And it shows. Thanks for having me. This has been a pleasure, and congrats again to these players on this card. You guys all played great, especially Trenton, and great round.
We're hearing the birdie train roll through in the background. Andy is at 18. Joseph remains at 18. Solid rounds out there for both of those gentlemen today, but you see Joseph trying to hunt him down. He ends up having 10 under on the round.
And Cyrus isn't out of it. He needs to keep his head up, especially if it's longer than 18 holes tomorrow.
And the star frame birdie, as they close it out, we're going to be excited to see you guys in round 3. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all of that YouTube stuff. I know we prompted you with some really tough questions and comments, but we're looking forward to seeing you guys for round number 3. I think we take a quick look at the scores as it shifts out. And we see Joseph and Andy tied for the lead. Cody Parsons has the hot round, and Cyrus will rejoin the lead card. We'll see you guys for the third and final round from Kaposia.